Alright, here we go. We're taking a look at the new Kappa Cannoneer that is just finally made it into Timeless. Obviously, this is a card that has been around and has quite a history in terms of its Magic lore. This card absolutely busted in all terms of the word. Um, Popular and modern with our artifact synergies, and we're basically just going to be trying to bring that into Timeless today. The deck that we built today is both working on using Kappa Cannoneer, but is also going to be a Kozilek's Unsealing deck. Now, this is a very cool, enchantment from Modern Horizons 3 that gives us the ability to make some mana via Eldrazi spawns when we cast creature spells that are 4, 5, or 6. So this is going to basically just include the Kappa Cannoneer. But the big part about this card is that when you cast a creature spell with mana value 7 or greater, you draw 3 cards. And that works really, really, really well when we're playing with our 3 different 7 mana affinity for artifacts creatures. Mirror Enforcer and Thought Monitor, which you've seen before, and Frogmere Enforcer, one of the new cards from Modern Horizons 3 as well, which is a prototype card with affinity for artifacts as well. It's strictly a better Mirror Enforcer. We can cast that for prototype with our Silver Bluff bridges, but really what we're trying to do is get our affinity high enough that we can go ahead and cast these for more or less free. We can do that with a Kozilek's Unsealing on the battlefield, draw some more cards, and basically we should be able to get to a point where we just rifle through our deck, cast all these things, and get to a point where our opponent really is not going to survive the next few turns unless they do something very special. If that doesn't work, then we're also a deck that plays Simulacrum Synthesizer, a card that is able to make a bunch of huge artifact constructs. Also, we obviously are a Kappa Cannoneer deck, so once we have one of these on the battlefield and we cast a bunch of the Thought Monitor and the other 7 drops, this thing's going to get really big and can eventually just kill our opponent. So if we land this on the battlefield early, it's pretty good because we're going to be able to get it to a point where it cannot be blocked, which is important. So that part of the text on Kappa Cannoneer is huge. The other way that we're going to win the game when we cast all these spells is to make sure that we have Ugin's Binding here. Because once we play this to bounce something, we can then, on casting one of our 7 drops on a combo turn, we can basically get to a point where we can bounce our opponent's entire board with this card. So that's just one way to get our things through. Sync the Super, another way to remove opponent's threats. We have Oracle the Alpha here in the deck as well, in case we get to a point where we're just able to draw our deck here. We will go Kozilek's Unsealing into Oracle the Alpha, or sorry, it will be Kozilek's Unsealing, cast a bunch of things, cast Oracle the Alpha, draw into the power 9, and then we can loop our library, we can cast a bunch of spells, we can basically take an extra turn, which turns all of our Frogmere Enforcer, Thought Monitor, Mirror Enforcer things into a kill. Emery Lurker of the Lock here because we are an artifact deck. We'll get back those Mishra's Baubles, those Ornithopters, and any one of these things that gets killed. Should be pretty nice. And then Retrofitter Foundry slots in for just one slot here to play around the Ornithopters. And that will basically round out the deck here. We're going to be looking to play a lot of these 7-drop spells and overwhelm our opponent with one big turn. We may need to pass the turn, or we'll be able to kill them the turn of. We will have to see. Other notable inclusions here are going to be 10 artifact lands. We have Cephalid Coliseum here, draws 3 discards through, which is convenient for us. That can get an Ugin's Binding into the graveyard. Yeah, so like a decent card to have, I guess. Ugin's Labyrinth, another very good one. We can exile any one of our 12 7-drops here in order to gain a little bit of mana on turn 1. That's going to enable turn 2 Emery in a different way. It's going to enable turn 2 any one of these things, on which is very, very relevant for us. So it's definitely worth it to pitch something to Ugin's Labyrinth in order to get an early 3-drop out. With that being said, that's going to be the deck here. Modern Horizons 3 Kappa Cannoneer, going to bring some fear into the Timeless format. And we're here to just facilitate that, honestly, and make it happen. So let's hop into round 1 and see what this deck's got for us. Before we do, make sure to like and comment on the video. Helps with the algorithm. And subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now let's get into round 1. Here we go. This is round 1. We open up a hand that has a bunch of expensive things. We do have some artifact lands, but unfortunately these artifact lands are only going to help the Thought Monitors. They don't help Kappa Cannoneer very well, since you can only tap them for mana or as an artifact. What we do get, though, is an early Ugin's Labyrinth, which can take the Mirror Enforcer and give us some mana. I will try this one. So we'll go Ugin's Labyrinth here. This just sets us up if we end up drawing a 3-drop, except actually that's not really what it does. We should have gone Silver Bluff Bridge first and then done that turn 2. It is what it is. Hopefully we will be able to survive after that. We'll have access to 3 mana on turn 3, so at least we won't be behind. Opponent shows green, opponent shows Arboreal Grazer, you got it. And we'll just start working towards being able to cast Thought Monitor. Thought Monitor is likely going to come down prior to Kappa Cannoneer here. We're going to go to Silver Bluff Bridge. We'll get a Retrofitter Foundry out as well, and this Thought Monitor can come out next turn all of a sudden. Turn 3 Thought Monitor, definitely good, so we'll take that regardless, even if we do not play as efficiently as possible. I don't think our clock in terms of getting this thing out would have changed if I had sequenced this differently, though. Galagreeters comes down, that's fine. We get in here with a Thought Monitor next turn, and then we play the rest of our game. This does change things, though, with Simulacrum Synthesizer. We're just going to tap out for that. We get to try 2 here, look for another land, potentially. That is good. Kozilek's Unsealing, also very good. So I think with the mana that we have here, we should be able to... oh, darn. Just barely not cast Kozilek's Unsealing and the Thought Monitor. So I could go Thought Monitor first. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate how this works. We will take the Kozilek's Unsealing. I guess it doesn't really matter how this works. We do want to draw the land. Alright, so it won't be optimal, but we'll get in there with the Thought Monitor next turn. Fine. Making a big construct is worth it regardless, so it's totally okay. They get to a massive board here, but we're about to put a creature onto the battlefield that can stop it. Really no rush. Don't really see anything I'm worried about on the opponent's side. Rebel Belt, Maverick, something that you do see with some of these tiny little creature decks. Okay, sure. They're just putting counters here. They're going to attack for 2. And here's our artifact land. Here's our Thought Monitor. Can we find something that can be cast for 2 mana? Let's see. We'll make an 8/8. And then we do actually have, through Ugin's Labyrinth, the Kozilek's Unsealing. So, yeah, fine. Nice. There's Kozilek's Unsealing. Let's go. And then next turn, we will just drop a Kappa Cannoneer. We can do it off of the Synthesizer, I think. No, we can't. We don't have the mana for it. Or do we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, we can actually cast both. That's perfect. Alright, so our board gets super wide next turn. Alright, Natural Order. Not the end of the world, but this is about to hurt. I guess they get... oh, they just go for Primeval Titan. That's fine. We're going to be big enough to block it, and we should be able to eventually go pretty wide. They only have 2 types of lands here. They can give the... They cannot give the Titan haste this turn. Even if they did, it's really not that useful for them. This is a Field of the Dead deck. They are playing Shifting Woodland. Alright, good to know. They'll make some treasure. Alright, well, we're also going to have a pretty big turn here. We go Darksteel Citadel into Simulacrum Synthesizer. Trigger. Frogmere Enforcer is great. And then we put the Citadel away. All the stuff's about to be free. We go Kappa Cannoneer. Kappa Cannoneer is about to not be able to be blocked. We make some guys that can block, which is great. Put a counter. Let's get it. Here we go. We will go ahead and attack. Like that. We've got good blocks. Their Shifting Woodland is on, which is awkward, so there could be double Primeval Titan going on. But the next turn, we're going to be able to potentially get into a Kappa Cannoneer that can't be blocked, which is nice. This Kozilek's Unsealing could be huge. Hoping that it ends up being that way. This will be just a hard cast Primeval Titan. They'll also get to attack in with one. This is 4 unique lands. They'll go up to 6 here, and then with the attack of Primeval Titan number 1, they'll be able to make 8 zombies. Alright, here we go. Move to combat, they'll attack in here likely. Makes sense. Then really we just got to watch out for Craterhoof. Craterhoof's the only thing that really kills us here. They don't have the mana to use it yet, so that's fine. Oh, they actually did not get a second Field of the Dead. This is 8 lands, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have exactly 7, never mind. Okay, cool. So they're only making 2. We will eat that guy for breakfast. Actually, yeah, we should eat that guy for breakfast. Block, block. Easy. There we go. Not worth it to get rid of the Thought Monitor just yet. We don't have an Emery to recast. Here's second Field of the Dead, so they will make these second 2 zombies. I'll move to my turn. And we just need to make a Kappa Cannoneer that is big enough to kill. It's definitely possible here. So we go cast for 7. We need to hit well here. We hit Thought Monitor, which is perfect. And then here's Ugin's Binding. Ugin's Binding will be the kill. We'll go Ugin's Binding. Send back the Primeval Titan. And then we will go Thought Monitor. And now we just need to hit a colorless spell with mana value 7 or greater. That'll be the Frogmere Enforcer. We cast that. We Ugin's Binding them, and they are gone. Cool. So that is a perfect round 1. We would have then been able to hit for like 50 or so. Would have been a nice kill. All right, sweet. That was a great round 1. Let's hop into round 2 and try to do it again. Here we go, round 2. Frogmere's in hand, sink into Stupor. Ugin's Labyrinth, not Uber's Labyrinth. Can take a Frogmere Enforcer, which is cool. I think I'm down to keep this. Can't cast the Sink into Stupor, but it's fine. Alright. So we'll go Razortide Bridge. Turn 2, we can Retrofit or Foundry, make a token. We will take a damage. Oh, and actually we just have turn 2 Simulacrum Synthesizer. That's even better. We will exile the Frogmere Enforcer. We will cast a Synthesizer. Perfect. Alright, that's a turn 2. Ugin's Binding, also pretty decent. That we don't really need right now, though. We'll put it on the bottom. Now the question is, am I going to regret that? We'll see. Alright, then we just work on getting this Frogmere Enforcer out. We'll have 4 mana, and after this Retrofit or Foundry, I believe that we do have it next turn. March of the Black Gates is going to make a 1/1. We are about to make something far larger than that. That's a Frogmere Enforcer that's ready to go. Here's a Retrofit or Foundry as well. Let's go Frogmere Enforcer for 3 now. That's a big boy. Alright, that's 10 power on turn 3. What's it to ya? What can your March of Blackgate do? Well, next turn we have Kappa Cannoneer, which is even better. And we should be able to attack in with a rather large creature. Bitter Triumph, you got it. I just realized they're playing 168 cards here. This is about to be a kind of a silly game. We'll take some damage here because they are about to take even more damage. We're going to go like this. Auto pay. Improvise. Make a token. Here we go. Bam bam. Get in for 4. So after that 10 power on turn 3, we have 13 power on turn 4 coming in. What is life? Alright, so then we basically just get in for a 2-hit kill with Kappa Cannoneer. Coming up here, it has a ward 4. They are not going to be able to kill this thing. A thing with Menace could not possibly bother me. Alright, and we see what our draw is here. It's another Kappa Cannoneer. Let's go. We just run it back again. Alright, let's get big. You're not targeting that thing. Trigger, trigger, here we go, and then we drop the Silver Bluff Bridge, get another one, and then we just go in with everything. We're attacking in. So our turn 3, turn 4, and turn 5 are absolutely nuts. We just put another 20-ish power onto the board. It's turn 5. We've got one of the more crazier boards I've had in Timeless, which is pretty wild. All off of the Simulacrum Synthesizer that got powered off on turn 2. Thank you, Ugin's Labyrinth. So what are we doing here? They're going to probably sacrifice one of those things to draw. No, they're going to gain lifelink. Okay. They go to 4. And I just make a Retrofitter Foundry next turn, attack in with the Kappa Cannoneer, and it's over. 5 damage. Couldn't be bothered. Alright, move to my turn here. Here's a Mirror Enforcer. Why not? Let's get in there. Alright, let me just attack. Bang. That was a very, very good game. Let's get into round 4. Round 3, sorry. Okay, here we go. This is round 3. Sadly, the Thought Monitor is not colorless, so the Ugin's Labyrinth does not get turned on. Kappa Cannoneer doesn't really get out for quite a while. This is definitely a mulligan. We get another Ugin's Labyrinth, Frogmere Enforcer here. This is turn 2 Kozilek's Unsealing. Yeah, that's good enough for me. What will we put back? I think I'll put back a Cephalid Colosseum. We do the same thing we did last game. It's just a tap land turn 1 into tapped turn 2, or like turn 2 Kozilek's Unsealing basically. Then we work towards a Kappa Cannoneer. I'm going to get this Bauble out early. Opponent's got Once Upon a Time, I guess. No, they're not casting it, so they had something that held priority there. Curious. Could be Pitch Elemental, actually. That could have been Subtlety. Good to know. Alright, move to our turn. Ugin's Binding, also pretty decent. Do this, exile Frogmere Enforcer. Bang. Here is Kozilek's Unsealing. Let's go. Alright, we have 5 out of 6 mana for Kappa Cannoneer. An untapped land will do it. Otherwise, it might be Ugin's Binding for whatever they play. What will it be? Tapped Elegant Parlor, they're going to Surveil here. So this is Jeskai something. There's a big decision happening over here. They will drop a Breeding Pool. So this might just be like Domain or something. I've seen Domain Zoo be a thing. We go like this, and sadly that doesn't work for Kappa Cannoneer. We will need to pass. With that being said, though, we do have Ugin's Binding at instant speed, which is kind of decent. Hopefully they decide to play like a Territorial Kavu or something like that, if that is actually what they're on. They just really decided not to get this Breeding Pool out at all. Or like this green mana out at all. It'll be Teferi Time Raveler. Will they -2 my Kozilek's Unsealing? Okay. I mean, I could try to Ugin's Binding, right? No. Yeah, we can't cast because it's a fairy. Alright, fine. Well, I guess we'll just need to build up again here. Cephalid Colosseum comes out. That is Kappa Cannoneer mana. Alright. Out of pit. Let's get in there. Ward 4 means can't be targeted. We are likely to be able to get through to the Teferi this turn. Or this coming turn. We can even Kozilek's Unsealing, potentially. Or sorry, Ugin's Binding, rather. Kappa Cannoneer is very huge against the specific deck right now. They want to just kill my stuff, but Kappa Cannoneer will get through. I have 5 mana, potentially 6 after this Ugin's Binding. 1, 2, 1. Okay, we actually don't have a very good count in terms of artifacts, though. Luckily, this Darksteel Citadel will help with that. Now it can't be blocked. Let's go. We will get in there. Excuse me. And we do have 6 mana here, so that is enough for Kozilek's Unsealing. Now Ugin's Binding can be done at any time. We will probably try to kill this Goblin Shaman before they can attack with it, because I want to make sure that they're not able to have Kappa Cannoneer go away. We'll stop at combat. We will need to take damage with Cephalid Coliseum. They finally played a forest. They've played a Hollowed Fountain. Okay. I said that I wouldn't let them do that. Okie dokie, fine. Yeah, I think I am going to just get rid of this anyway. That feels really bad. I think I'm Mishra's Bobbling here. I want to draw a card and trigger Kozilek's Unsealing. The cast trigger will be very important. And then we can also just wipe their board at some point if a 7-drop comes down. What'll it be? Up the Beanstalk, and they also want to draw. Fine. Let's see what's on their top. They get a Leyline Binding. Alright, so Kappa Cannoneer can be killed at some point. Luckily not yet, but very, very soon. Possibly next turn. So they're going to take Kozilek's Unsealing them. If they target Kappa Cannoneer, it's going to get warded. Okay, Kozilek's Unsealing. There goes my card advantage. We get to draw 2 cards here. Hopefully we hit something. That's perfect. That's also perfect. So we go Kappa Cannoneer again. No, I would like to cast it with this. Now can I do it like that? Perfect. There we go, okay. Alright, and then Mirror Enforcer comes down next turn. We should be able to kill. Alright, that's half their life. And if they can't impact my board here, we do kill. Pitch Elementals can take out a Kappa Cannoneer, though. So it's really not over. Ugin's Labyrinth can give me my Frogmere Enforcer back as well. Which actually, how much does that cost? That is just a tap. So that would be 3 mana, 2 mana. So if I get 1 untapped land or another artifact. Although I do feel pretty optimistic about just killing next turn, we will see. They must have been looking to see if this is the artifact that I want to put onto the battlefield. And yes, I can put it onto the battlefield. So they know that they need to kill a creature. Temple Garden. And we are given our turn here. I think the move is Ugin's Binding, take out Leyline Binding. We first see if that's allowed to happen. Their Land Binding can kill a Kappa Cannoneer, but then we just cast Mirror Enforcer and their whole board gets wiped. Alright, so Unsealing. We go Mirror Enforcer now. Auto pay. Alright. I think I will exile here because then that forces them to play Leyline Binding if they want to do anything with Up the Beanstalk. So we will exile. Alright, we get that. Ugin's Binding number 2. Do we have 2 Ugin's Binding? We don't need to do that. It's the second time. We get to draw 3. And Ornithopter Bauble means that this Mirror Enforcer is all. This actually second Mirror Enforcer is castable. Sweet. Yep. We go Bauble, we go Thopter, and we should have enough on both Cannoneers to kill. Sweet. This is going to be a win. look at that. Ugin's Binding number 2 doesn't need to happen. We'll draw another 3. And we just continue here pretty much. Bang, bang. Ornithopter. And then if somehow this didn't work out, we then have Thought Monitor. Alright, I guess the Leyline Binding comes in now. We do have to attack with both. It would be crazy if they were playing Settle the Wreckage. I'd be surprised. It looks like we will take round 3. Alright, that was a great game. Ended out strong once again with the combo going off. Alright, here comes round 4. Here we go. This is round 4. We actually, for the first time, see an Emery. We can get a very early Emery out. I'm interested. Keep this 7. We have turn 1 tapped Sink into Stupor. We will play the Ornithopter now. Then we go Labyrinth, exile Mirror Enforcer, go Emery. Alright, we will be absolutely able to hold up this Emery here. Ugin's Labyrinth, exile Mirror Enforcer. For even more protection and a cheaper Emery, we go Mishra's Bauble. Looks like they will try to counter this, possibly, or Brainstorm. No, just tap Breeding Pool. Alright, cool. Then we'll go Emery. This is 3 out of 4 mana. We will be able to Darksteel Citadel and hit. And actually, that's enough for opponent to say that they're good. Absolutely nuts here. I guess they didn't have a removal for Emery. And even if they did, another big artifact is coming down next turn. That could even happen after Simulacrum Synthesizer. Retrofitter Foundry could come out if they can't kill Emery. So yeah, quite a reasonable concession from opponent. We'll go ahead and re-record round 4 since that was so very quick. Turn 1 kill, basically. It's about 1:30 on the recording. Pretty darn good. All right, hopefully another quick queue here. Some of them have been taking a while this afternoon. If it takes more than 20 seconds, I will re-record. That's usually my benchmark here. So far the decks have been, the games rather have been really good. This is a super, super fun deck to play. It is capable of really, really fast starts, and if your opponent can't deal with it, you just snowball super, super fast. But looks like our queue is going to take a while here, so I'll go ahead and cut the recording and get in. Oh, never mind. We got it as soon as I said something about it. Round 4, recording 2. Here we go. Ugin's Binding, Kozilek's Unsealing here. No early acceleration other than that, though, but we do have a lot of artifact lands, so I think I'm down. We'll keep the 7. The Thought Monitor and Mirror Enforcer will come down at some point. All right, they've gone to 5. Uh-oh, this is looking like Belcher. We get turn 2 Kozilek's Unsealing. Ugin's Binding is good if they don't kill us the turn that they play the Belcher. Am I trying to get a Mirror Enforcer out early? I kind of am, because Kozilek's Unsealing can come out early. Alright, we hold for now. Blizzard's Rockets. Yep, it is what we thought it was going to be. Move to my turn here. They do need 2 more mana, so I think we are going to survive 1 more turn. Exile the Mirror Enforcer. Play Kozilek's Unsealing here, and then next turn we have to hold up Ugin's Binding. If they make a pass the turn play, we can Ugin's Binding. Otherwise, we're dead if they Ironcrag and resolve a Belcher, so... we have to play... Well, actually, you know what? That means that we can play as though they do need to pass the turn, otherwise we're dead. So, because I know we're not hitting the hand, because I know we're not counterspelling, we just have to devote to our own game plan more than anything else. So it can come down next turn. green black Belcher. Doesn't have feet, but does have it through Beseech the Mirror. Alright, they might be searching their library here. Assemble the team? No, Mistress Bauble. Okay. With Darksteel Citadel, I'll have enough to cast Thought Monitor this turn. They look at their top. And will they play a card this turn? No, they'll let that mana fizzle. My turn. They draw once. We draw once. Frogmere Enforcer is pretty huge for us. We drop a Darksteel Citadel, then we go Thought Monitor, draw 2 cards. We actually draw 5 cards because of Kozilek's Unsealing. Hell yeah. Darn, kind of just an Emery though. That's unfortunate. We want some 0 mana cost spells, and there's one of them. Alright, so I don't think they can Belcher me this turn and kill me. So Ugin's Binding still sitting here. I get to go to my turn. I leave Mistress Bauble for one more turn. I have access to 1 blue right now. I could have access to 2 through Cephalid Coliseum. I think I have to go for my own kill. We're starting with Thought Monitor here. No, we're not, because I need to play another land to make this cheaper. Alright, so now I have free Storm, basically. They'll have to kill me next turn or they're dead. We draw 2. Now, I sadly can't get rid of this Ugin's Binding into my graveyard. That could be a good setup. We go Bauble. And yeah, we're just going to play out a lethal amount of creatures here. Retrofitter Foundry, nice. Frogmere Enforcer, nice. Here we go. This is not necessarily a pass the turn kill, unfortunately. Frogmere Enforcer again. We'll do that. We have 12, 14, 16. We need one more 4/4 on the battlefield. Ornithopter is nice, and then we're going to have to end it there, sadly. Alright, well, not actually the kill that we hoped it would be. Alright. Retrofitter Foundry can turn an Ornithopter into a 4/4 though, so this is actually okay. We have to pass. Well, actually we can attack for 2. So this does make it a kill next turn unless my opponent can kill me. We're going to pass here with the shields down. And if they got us, they got us. We have to discard 7 here. We want 1 Ugin's Labyrinth. Vantress is good because that's untapped. We'll get rid of the other lands here. Cephalid Coliseum not necessarily good for us. 1 Ugin's Binding in the graveyard, 1 Ugin's Binding in hand. Backup Emery can go. We actually have 2 Emerys. This is 6. We need 1 more. Simulacrum Synthesizer good. We'll have access to Simulacrum and 1 spell. So Simulacrum and Kappa. Maybe I get rid of Thought Monitor. Alright. Do they pass? They actually are looking like they pass here. Alright, cool. Sack a Thopter, make a 4/4. And I think we have a kill. I'll move to my turn here. We are attacking all in. I'm not making my land drop purposefully. Alright, looks like we had them. Kind of an interesting one there. I am surprised that we didn't die to Belcher, but I guess I needed 1 more turn to set up. I'm not sure that I would say black-green is my personal favorite Belcher build right now. I have been working on a black-red one that I think is really good, and you will definitely see that on the channel at some point, unless I end up scheduling the video before this one. But with that being said, that was round 4. Here comes round 5. Let's go. Here we go. 5th and final round. Last one. We actually have Oracle of the Alpha in our hand for the first time. I think on that alone, I'm kind of just interested in keeping this. I want to see if Kozilek's Unsealing can get us into an Oracle of the Alpha loop easily enough. So we look to play... Ooh, Leyline of Sanctity. All right. That's fine. We don't care. We're looking to get into a rather early Kozilek's Unsealing if at all possible. I will actually play the artifact tap lands over anything else, especially because the Sync to Super can be shocked. Odawara. I'll take my turn. We drop a Razor Tide Bridge here into Retrofitter Foundry. We're getting all set up. Let's see if they counter this. This is an engine. It is a 1 of 1 in our deck. They will mana drain it. Okay. Might be just kind of blue control here. We now are just going to try to resolve 3/3 drops back to back. Which one should be the first one? I guess Unsealing goes first. Alright. There's a resolve. This is a good one to resolve for us. They will get to mana drain. Let's see what they ramp into here. Could be bad for us. I think then we go Simulacrum Synthesizer that turns on Thought Monitor if Oracle the Alpha doesn't work. Siphon Insight. Sure. That's on their turn too, so that's nice. Alright, we'll find one here with 3 mana left and a land drop. What can they do? They get Cephalid Colosseum for 4 mana. Will they use any of it? They will not. So we go Ornithopter. Ornithopter makes that Thought Monitor just about castable here. I think I will go Simulacrum Synthesizer and pray that this resolved. It does. Nice. We're looking for land here, but actually the Thought Monitor into Mirror Enforcer. Thought Monitor into Thought Monitor is actually great, so we'll do that. Alright, we pass. Alright, things are looking good here. We hopefully can outrun them this next turn. Actually, we're in a pretty bad position to be able to do that. Never mind. Synthesizer, does it go away? They might just be holding up counter magic here. I think I'll bait it out with Frog Mirror Enforcer then. Yeah, they're looking for something to happen here. What will it be? I actually get my turn. Surprising. I think Frog Mirror Enforcer is probably the least sketchy option here, but what I can do is cast it for Prototype, which will trigger... that will still trigger the Simulacrum, I believe. Alright, we'll Prototype it. Alright, it resolves. We get Simulacrum Synthesizer. That'll be a 7/7. Here's a Thought Monitor. Counter this, and there's still another Thought Monitor coming. Oh yeah, that's what we like to see. Draw 2 cards. That is a free Mirror Enforcer. They still have not countered any of these things, surprisingly. And it looks like they will be dead here. We are combo killing before they could do anything about it. Just too many free spells to cast. We even had after that Kappa Cannoneer and possibly Mirror Enforcer the following turn. Pretty darn great. That, I think, is a great cap off to an awesome deck tech. Hope you guys enjoyed this build of Affinity artifacts. I think Kappa Cannoneer is a huge add to this deck, as is Kozilek's Unsealing. This card is super, super great in this build. I really like playing it along Simulacrum Synthesizer, and I think Ugin's Binding has been able to show some really good utility in this in these set of games as well. If you want to try the deck for yourself, make sure to check out my Moxfield link in the video description. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you're a returning subscriber, you can show your support by liking and commenting. All of those things help me out a lot. And with that being said, I'll leave the shills there for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.